Is it? Should we wait a little while? We can wait a couple of minutes and let you get set up and.
I'm a fan of Carmenere.
Do you drink it often?
My computer died and now I'm on my phone. Can you hear me?
Yes. And you're still connected on the computer. But thank you for the heroic effort.
My computer's dead. It's out of juice. It's totally dead.
Is it a PC?
No, it's a Mac.
Oh well. It's just not plugged in?
Yeah, it's no longer plugged in. It's a complicated management here at my home. No, I've always been a fan of Carmenere, actually.
Well, what is it about it that you like?
I like the spiciness. I like the pepper flavor that I sometimes find. I think it's a great pairing wine with certain gamey meats. I don't drink a lot of Zin. I don't drink a lot of Syrah. I can't find a lot of Petit Verdot. I have an unhappy baby near me, so perhaps that's what you hear in the background.
Your baby's unhappy because he has no wine.
Yeah, he's not a Carmenere fan, apparently.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I've always liked Carmenere. It has a little kick. I mean, can you find Petit Verdot? I never find Petit Verdot. If I could find Petit Verdot, I would drink that too.
Where can't you find Petit Verdot?
Do you ever drink monovarietal Petit Verdot?
Yep, all the time in Virginia.
Yeah. Lots in Virginia.
We don't get a lot of Virginian wine in New York.
I think Trinchero makes a Petit Verdot single varietal. It's pretty good.
And somebody else does too, because I just tasted one recently and I can't remember who.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to know the names of some of those wineries. I would love to try one. But no, I didn't even know that Virginia made Petit Verdot. I always think of Virginia as a Viognier land.
Megan, you're much clearer now. As you
My wireless doesn't like it when I do things like this.
Oh no, this is a big demand. Are you polishing your glassware, Nanette?
It was, but now it's all smudgy and gross.
Okay. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Barbecue.
With the barbecue?
Barbecue, I think it works really well with it.
I would love.
Agree.
Yeah, that's.
Lamb.
Well, this Carmenere does have a nice dried floral kind of thing floating on top of it, which makes me think of what a great blending grape it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could see this in 10% in a blend, adding the high notes to it. You know, along with other things, but really like a pretty high on top of it.
Hey Ben, we already tasted the Merlot, so if you want to jump in on the Merlot, you can let us know what you think.
Pouring right now. My apologies for the technical difficulties there.
That's all right. It's been a night of technical difficulties. This is not at all unusual. And Megan, you're still frozen now.
We are crows.
We are crows?
We cannot hear you, Megan.
Nope. We don't know what happened to Megan.
She's asking if we can hear her. We cannot hear her.
No, I can't hear her.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can.
I can hear you.
Now we can, Megan.
Good night, John Boy. I might have dated myself there. So Ben, what do you think of the Merlot?
It's a nice, earthy, sort of beefy Merlot. It's a very, very faint touch of that bacon fat or something in the background. It's definitely a well-structured one.
I'll go back to it. It has 8% Malbec. Was this 8% Malbec and 2% Petit Verdot? I think that's what this was. This is 8% Malbec and 2% Petit Verdot as well. And according to the text sheets, the Merlot is American and French oak, while the Carmenere is all French oak. It's interesting to go back to the Merlot after a little Carmenere, because it brings out a little bit more of the typical chocolatey character of Merlot. Megan's back.
You know, Greg, now that I revisited the Merlot, I'm getting a lot of that, like Semmer Champagner or Chinon black tea for some reason on the finish, pretty heavy.
In the Merlot?
Yeah.
Mm. For me, it's pretty spicy on the finish. A little, I can get the beefy thing. It's almost gamey and spicy.
I just don't like the Merlot at all.
Come on, Nanette. Tell us what you think.
Dude, can we put some lipstick on the pig? Yeah, it's...
I'm not sure that's going to help. I'll give them credit for making distinct wines, though, because these two wines could have easily been much more similar than they are, I think. I'm going back to the Carmenere.
What is the price of the Carmenere?
They're all under $20. I think they're all designed to be. I can do a little checking and see.
And by the way,
No, that's good enough.
Okay.
That's close as I need to be.
By the way,
the Gran Reserva concept, you know, Chile seems to be one of those places where they throw that around, Gran Reserva pretty freely there are no legal requirements for that, right?
there are none.
So, you know, I mean, I no doubt there'll be some less than scrupulous producers who slap it on there to sell it, and others who really mean something by it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that here it is implying it's showing that these are wines that are. What is that? That's
Someone doesn't want to be on camera.
the shot of the night. All of a sudden, a wine glass starts coming out of the side there. We need more wine. I think that hello hand, hello.
Bye.
And the door closes.
Join the party.
The hand of my lovely wife, Goma.
Okay. We'll probably see it again, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, if she doesn't like the Carmenere, she'll be right back.
Okay. I think the Gran Reserve is on somewhat. It's an interesting use of a term. I think it sort of is an offspring of. Obviously, it's an offspring of Spanish Rioja, and not to imply excessive aging or incredible aging, but the fact that the wines are ready and somewhat evolved on release. I definitely think that's what they're shooting for.
Is there any kind of, laws in the works down there? You know, much like, California has evolved and developed AVAs and so on. Chile up to anything like that?
There's Carmenere failed. Oh, we got a thumbs up.
One thumbs up.
Well, there's only one free thumb,
Funny.
so that's
And there was a glass in her other hand, so it might have been two thumbs.
that's what I'm saying. There's only one free
I know
thumb.
they're very particular about Maipo Alto as a part of Maipo. That they want, on their wines, if they're from Maipo, they wanted to specify if they're from Maipo Alto or if they're not.
And I think that they're
Something. Sorry?
no. Go ahead if you're not done.
No, I know that's very important to many of the producers. That if they're from, the distinctions within Maipo. That's not a direct response to Bob's question. I don't know if they're creating AVAs
What is
or
this?
something similar.
I don't want this.
But they are interested in branding, no doubt.
Yes,
Sounds like
that they are. That
Yep.
they are.
And I think
Sorry, I'm muting my microphone.
I think that
There's
they're
not a lot of noise coming through, Susanna.
there's
You barely heard a happy little baby voice there.
Ben's giving us an
Did you
interesting
barely hear him gurgling?
barely.
Well, maybe he'll be piping up. If he behaves, poor guy, he's like, pay attention to me.
So now we can
My
see you.
apologies for the spit up shot there. I was working with the settings.
So I do think that in Chile there's some significant work going on to try to further define the AVAs. And Susanna, we can see you right now, in case you were going to do something with that baby that should not be. We can't hear you. Your mic's off.
Can you really see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hold up fingers. I'll tell you.
Alright, well then let me turn off my video.
There you go.
What's
Thank
wrong
you.
with seeing you?
I'm in the mid. My baby is on my lap.
Got it.
Yes.
So you never know what he wants to do. That's all that's wrong with seeing me. Thank you for telling me that.
No problem.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Ben, are you joined up with us? You're at the Carmenere now.
Yes, I am.
Hmm.
It's quite restrained for Carmenere. So it doesn't have as much of the herbal pyrazine kind of flavor that I'm used to, but quite good.
Do you prefer it with more or less pyrazine?
Depends on what I'm eating and what
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for. Personally, I love the pyrazine aroma and flavor. It's just that sometimes that's an off-putter when you're with people who can't stand it. So, depends on the situation.
I'm right there with you. I tend to like it. It's actually getting significantly fruitier in the glass for me. I think it integrates well. I think it integrates the pyrazine well. And Nanette wants you to either raise your chair or lower your camera because all we can see are your eyes. There you go. Yeah.
There's the
My
rest of
apologies. Not trying to be weird here. I'm working off an iPhone that is propped up on my laptop at the moment. This is true.
That's what laptops are good for sometimes.
Hey Ben, what would you pair the Carmenere with?
Oh, Carmenere, I love lamb. There's something about that sort of grassy flavor that you get with a really good Carmenere that goes so well with that, special lamb flavor, the little gamey flavor. If you can't have it with wild game like venison or something like that, then definitely lamb is the way to go. And Susanna, it's great to talk to you. I haven't spoken to you in forever. So.
I know, it's been a long time.
We should do this more often.
Sorry?
I say we should do this more often.
Absolutely.
Great. Now that I know how to use Google Hangout, thank you, Greg.
No, you're
I
welcome.
had no idea how to use this.
Neither does anybody here.
Night.
What was that, Frank?
Expanding technological horizons tonight.
Absolutely. So, what do you think, Frank? Too herbaceous? Not herbaceous enough? Good Carmenere?
I think it's kind of in that sweet spot, although now that it's opened up for, let's say, 90 minutes, I picked up a little, at least in the beginning, it was just too herbaceous for me. And that is kind of integrated now, and I'm getting a lot more of the fruits, and even a lot of grass, too.
I found it a little weedy to start.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it too weedy, or?
To start with, but I think a lot of that's blown off now. Can you guys actually see and hear me
We can
now?
actually see and hear you.
Woohoo!
Although your audio and your video are slightly out of sync, so it's like watching Godzilla.
No, like a good karate movie.
Or a good karate movie.
I'm gonna blame Comcast for this one.
Comcast is perfect scapegoat for any blaming.
But I thought Comcast cared.
They care about Comcast.
They care about my money.
Yes, they care about Comcast.
Well, we have Cox, and yes, they are.
Oh, bada boom!
Okay.
Hey, how did you get that thing on? What's happening?
That is called the lower third, and if you had taken me to Chianti with you, I'd teach you how to do that.
All right. Next time I go to Chianti and have some control over the is it the
No, but I'll
toolbox?
show you guys how to do it. It's super easy.
It's the toolbox, right?
It is you take your cursor to the left. I know. I'm left-handed, so it confuses me. So you get the pop-up bar on the left,
Uh-huh.
and all the way at the bottom, it's the 3 dots.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Click on that, and then
You have to add an app.
add app. Sorry, now I'm hijacking. And then you scroll down, it should be on the second row. Hangouts toolbox. Click on that. And you should get a sidebar to your right.
I got a pop-up.
Oh, okay, that says Hangout Toolbox.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll accept.
Then there's like a little face with a circle in it. Should be all the way to the left. Click on that. Then there's something called lower third.
Lower
So you type in
third.
You getting that?
This is awesome.
So you type in your name and whatever you want to say.
Oh, you have to.
Of course, now I'm going to say, hey, sexy. But anyway, type in whatever you want. And then where it says choose logo, you can click, and that's how you'll get your